John Hoover, How to Work for an Idiot, Survive and Thrive Without Killing Your Boss. Tired of dealing with a frustrating, clueless boss? How to Work for an Idiot, Survive and Thrive Without Killing Your Boss by John Hoover offers valuable strategies for navigating the workplace, under the watchful eye of an idiot boss, or I-Boss. The book focuses on learning to control your own reactions instead of trying to change your boss, offering techniques to disarm your triggers and create a better relationship with them. The summary discusses various types of bosses, techniques to handle each kind, and ways to empower yourself in the face of an I-Boss's incompetency.
Avoiding the Idiot Boss. Author John Hoover discusses the common problem of clueless idiot bosses, I-Bosses, and how to manage working for one. Instead of trying to change the I-Boss, take control of your own reactions by disarming triggers that set you off. To improve the relationship, provide support and positive reinforcement when the I-Boss feels unsure. With less frustration and more empowerment, you can create a better working environment. The author warns that active idiots are lurking all around us, and their stupidity can affect millions. Taming the I-Boss. Unfortunately, I-Bosses are widespread and their actions affect millions of employees. Most I-Bosses were promoted without any management training and tend to act like their old supervisors, perpetuating the problem. The best strategy for employees is to train their bosses without their knowledge using behavioral psychology techniques like reward and punishment. By influencing the office environment positively and using reinforcement to show approval when the boss happens to communicate something well, employees can effectively reduce their I-Boss's ability to annoy or harm them. The key is to be positive, show a can-do attitude, and be understanding when seeking clarification on unclear instructions. Fortunately, most I-Bosses are unaware of the power they wield, so employees can take advantage of this knowledge. Mastering Boss Dynamics. In Idiot Bosses Belong to a Club of Bosses, the author provides strategies for navigating the various types of bosses one might encounter in the workplace. The key to success is to tailor your approach to each style of leadership. The article outlines 6 types of bosses: good bosses, God bosses, Machiavellian bosses, masochistic bosses, sadistic bosses, and paranoid bosses. Good bosses are role models whose fair leadership, open communication, and equitable treatment provide a positive and productive work environment. God bosses, on the other hand, view themselves as superior beings and require deference and forgiveness. When dealing with Machiavellian bosses, it's best to avoid competing and focus on maintaining communication to earn their trust. Masochistic bosses thrive on negative reactions and expect pain and failure, so it may be best to distance yourself from them. Sadistic bosses are the worst and thrive on punishing and overloading employees with work. To cope, show that your workload is already overwhelming and keep any employee activities under wraps. Finally, paranoid bosses are always suspicious and require trust building through open communication and sharing of knowledge. Adapting to each type of boss requires careful observation and a willingness to customize your approach. Engage in open communication, build trust, and showcase your value to each boss. By doing so, you can thrive in even the most challenging work environments, and your career will flourish. Dealing with idiot bosses. Most bosses lack leadership training and tend to develop characteristics based on a mix of social and biological factors. Some of them become idiots on the job. So, instead of figuring out what made them idiots, it's more important to devise a strategy to deal with them. Good bosses understand how they like to be treated and share information in a thorough and timely manner. Meanwhile, knowledge workers reporting to an idiot boss must try to be understanding and patient, repeat things, and help their boss feel important and needed. By working smart and staying on the lookout for better opportunities, one can cultivate a good recommendation from their idiot boss in the future. Surviving an idiot boss. It's time to get real about the fact that some bosses are, well, idiots. There's no use trying to change them, so instead, focus on ways to make the relationship more bearable. The key is to remember that you have control over yourself, and to plan strategically for the future. Here are some tips for surviving an I-Boss. Accept the Peter principle. Some people are promoted into positions of leadership without the necessary skills. Don't take their incompetence personally, and try to make the best of the situation. Don't seek recognition. Your I-Boss will never fully appreciate your talents. Instead, focus on keeping the boss comfortable and maintaining a good relationship. Give credit. Even if your I-Boss had nothing to do with your successes, give credit where it's due to keep the boss happy. Don't fight to be right. It's not worth the battle to prove your boss wrong. Instead, be ready to help clean up any messes and score points when the boss makes a mistake. Lay low, draw as little attention to yourself as possible and avoid office politics and speaking up at meetings. Plan for a transfer. Be strategic and position yourself for the future by being aware of the company's initiatives and helping with planning or research. Survive performance reviews. Different bosses have different styles, so gather information and prepare accordingly for your review. Follow the boss's lead. To reassure the I-Boss, follow their clothing style or lack thereof. Focus on what you can control, determine your personal boundaries, look at the bright side, build relationships when possible, and exercise control over yourself. Humor the boss. I-Bosses are influenced by other I-Bosses, so make your boss feel comfortable and secure by showing interest in their interests and not letting on that you think they're a moron. Remember, the length of your travails is up to you. Keep these tips in mind, and you may just survive your I-Boss and even thrive in your career.
In summary, Hoover's book provides vital insights into navigating the workplace with an I-Boss. The key takeaway is to focus on controlling your own reactions and actions, rather than attempting to change the boss. Work towards building a better relationship, support your I-Boss when possible, and employ subtle strategies such as behavioral psychology techniques to get favorable results. Understanding the different types of bosses allows you to develop appropriate coping mechanisms. Having an I-Boss may be an uncomfortable experience. However, using the lessons from How to Work for an Idiot, one can empower oneself, survive, and thrive in a challenging work environment with perseverance and strategy.